session. Let me see the students count. Let me check. All Abhishek Priyan, Aditya, student. Anurag is a student. Bharat, Bees is also. Uh, Dina Dalian is a student. Gaisal, Rahul, Jain Rahul, Manas, Mohammed, yep, Nimesh, Samad, Santosh Shavan, Shabaz. Mm, yeah. Huh? Started already. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let me start this. Let me start this. Okay. So, simply what, Bharat, what's your query is if you're, I mean, if you're, if you are giving two set of actions at the same time, you should have some sort of a sense to understand which one will be executed, and we have a parallel and we have a series functions. We have a both. Okay. You will be knowing this concept in on the fourth, I think, third day or fourth day. Don't worry. Okay. Fine. So let's get into the topic. uh, I mean, out of 38 people, like 28 are my students, and rest of like 10 are, this is considering as a demo for you since you missed uh, the last webinar. Okay, so we're considering this as a demo for you. Okay, just don't get panic if you don't understand anything. So, I mean, this is not the detailed demo at all. This is to make you understand how the training is going to be. That's it. Okay, fine. So, the first concept is, so this is visual coding. It's not coding actually. Okay, it's not coding. It is a visual coding. So something you see visually, then writing something. So in that case, we'll call it as visual coding or visual programming, whatever, or no coding completely. Okay, you can call this as a, I mean, if you type no code interfaces or visual coding interfaces or visual programming interfaces, it will show you some sort of a blocks. Okay, some sort of a blocks and some connections, respectively. Okay, so visual coding is nothing but you don't write any code, but still you are a developer. Still, the people call you as a developer, even though you don't know the basic coding. You are not a Python user, you are not a C sharp user, you're not a C user or nothing. But still, the people call you as a developer. That is BIM developer. To become a BIM developer, you don't need any, the coding concepts, nothing. Okay, initially, if you'd like to start your career, it's not required. Okay, so let me explain. These are the class rules, guys. I think I have already shared with you. Let me explain one more time. So the first point is you can join this meeting from laptop or mobile if it is, I mean, if it is enough to see, I mean, enough to understand, I mean, without zoom in and zoom out. Okay, that would be fine. Okay, but don't prefer, I mean, small screen devices at all. Don't use those. Okay. So electronic use, all the training sessions will be recorded. So no more hurries. Okay. So we have a 20 to 25 sessions generally. And in this batch, actually it is a 40 years training, but for you it is a 60 years training. So the 40 years training is going to be the complete essentials. In that 20 years, it is we'll be sharing to you if it is required. It's called geometry. So the geometry training is especially for the people who are into architecture and structure, not for MEP. Okay, but still I'm an MEP, but I'm an MEP guy. But still I have learned to enhance my skills into other disciplines as well. That nothing else. Okay, so there are some advantages. I mean, if you learn the geometry part, if you are from MEP background, I'll slowly explain you when it comes. I mean, I don't want to scare you in the day one itself. Okay, don't get panic. Generally, you have something in your mind. Array, I've seen a lot of Dynamo scripts to develop, architectures. It's not exactly like that. Whether you wish to go with, that's up to you. If not, then that's fine. Okay, fine. So these sessions will be recorded every day, and it'll send you by, I mean, generally our sessions will end at 10:30. I mean, it'll take 2 hours. And to convert that, sometimes after converting it, it will be like the video would be like 2 GB or 3 GB sometimes, but we'll compress it. So this process will take some time, like 1.5 to 2 hours, and you will be receiving the same video into your account in 2 to 3 hours. Okay, every day. Okay, if you missed any session, don't get panic. You can watch it after, I mean, anytime, and you can, if you have any questions, join like 15 minutes before as what we've done today. So, I mean, just join 15 minutes before and you can clear your doubts. Okay, fine. So Q&A questions, yes. We have a Q&A questions like twice in a day. So the first would be 15 minutes before the training starts and 15 minutes after the concept ends. Okay, it means like 8:30 to 8:45 it is a questionnaire part, and as well as 10:50 to 10:30 it is a Q&A part again. Clear? So if you don't have any questions, I can explain some more examples and you can take it as an advantage, but I don't end the meeting I mean before 2 hours. Okay, exactly. It should be like minimum, it should be 120 minutes. Okay, so every day it is a English movie. So don't you don't feel even that like you are overwhelmed or like overfeed something. Every minute I'm gonna give you a lot of tips and tricks, so you'll be more happy with the training, and it's my promise. Okay, so sessions will be like 5 days a week generally, but let me check with, I mean, with everyone, if you're okay with the 6 hour 6 days a week, will be more happy. I mean, I'll be more happy, especially because I can start some of the training uh, a bit earlier. I mean, if you feel no, you like you're overfeed with the training in the last 5 days and you need a practice, I mean, you need these 2 days for a practice, then that's up to you. Okay. Well, so assignments. So I'll give you assignments not on a daily basis, not exactly on the daily basis, because for some concepts I want you to understand. It doesn't need any practice. So on those cases, I don't give you any assignments, but I'll give you some related assignments to it. Okay. And the very important thing is very, very important. Okay. So if you have any kind of questions, don't feel like don't embarrass, I mean, asking something in front of others. Everyone are new here. Seriously, everyone are new here. So it's not, even though you are a manager or you are just like like a 6 months BIM modeler, doesn't matter. Array, I've seen like there are BIM managers, if you ask this question, so something went wrong, you are my students. You're our students. Okay. Forget about all other designations. They are like you. Let's treat them like they are like just a modelers. Even though they have a 10 years of experience, doesn't matter. Because I'm not going to reveal anyone's experiences here to to take that fear out. That's it. Okay. So if you have any questions, stop me that time and ask. Clear? Fine. So reach the trainer. This is also very important. So if you have, I mean, while you're practicing, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to text me on WhatsApp with your screenshot or where did you start. And if you don't understand a note, so just share it to me. So only for this, you're paying me like something, okay? Some X amount. So utilize this till the training ends. I'm going to help you in most of the cases, okay? In all the cases. And if I'm not reachable on WhatsApp, anyways, I'm going to send you a document link. I supposed to send you in the day one, but in day one training, in this training, there are few people who joined for a demo. Okay, so that is the reason I couldn't share you. I'll be sharing to you personally tomorrow morning after finalizing all the students the list. Okay, clear. In our training, we have already have a 28 students. So it's been like in a long. Still, the management is struggling to get those additional 2 students. So let them get, and we'll see. Okay, so these are the class rules and the Dynamo first days journey. I'm going to explain you this after some time. Before this, there is a one more important slide to be explained. This is called variables. It's called variables. Okay, so let me ask. Uh, Let me check with everyone. How many of you are aware of what is a variable? How many of you are aware of variables? If you can't speak, then you can use a chat box to reply, I mean, to text your answers. How many of you are aware of this variables concept? Say if you, I mean, see, and very, very important, I hate really silence. I hate silence. Okay. So if you wish to, I mean, if you're not talking at all, I can explain the concept and I can leave. But that is not what I exactly want. I want interaction with every student in my training. Okay. So please speak out whether it is saying yes or no. Please either text in the chat box. If you are in a, like a cloudy, like cloudy area, like a crowded area. So, any noisy area or whatever it is. Okay. So, in that case, I can accept this texting in the chat box. Okay. But if you're very any close place and you have a chance to talk, please unmute your mic and reply. Okay. Fine. So no idea or any value. What is that? Mm-hmm. Any other? No. I'm still expecting some answers.
No idea, bro.
I'm still expecting some answers. See, I'm going to teach you the coding also in the training part. It is actually like a coding, but it doesn't look like a coding. Okay. So when I was started learning some, uh, when I started learning some sort of a data, it likes it used to like struggle me a lot. Okay, so I don't understand what is this. So why this guy is not explaining in BIM person? So I'm coming from BIM background. In the entire, in my classroom, like out of like 20 to 30 students, so 29 people are on the same pitch. I was on the same pitch. So completely, I'm only the person who is from the BIM background. So the rest of all the people are into this web development and they learn Python and they are able to understand very easily. So the trainer who is not understanding my proper requirements. So, but still, I try to understand and I use my own theorem, like theories to understand the same concept in my own way. Okay. So fine. So here, variable is nothing but this is not the one. Let me. Where is that? Variable is.
Suppose some value.
Hmm. Yeah, this is the one. Same actually, but here we have a two set of nodes. I think this is the one I sent you with the nodes, right? So we have variables, variable in the sense, where is my dynamo? So let me, I can't close the and open the dynamo because it will take some time. So the dynamo would be in the manage tab under the visual programming panel. And even here also it is saying it's a visual programming. It is not a programming. We have a programming also. We have a programming also. This is the programming. And this is the visual programming. The panel name, which says it's like a macros, but it is not a macro. It's supposed to be like a programming. Why? Because the macros was there before the Dynamo. Before the Dynamo, the macros were there. But still, this is not that. It's not that popular as like as Dynamo, because Dynamo can handle by any BIM person. But to play with the macros, you must be a developer. So what is it when I click on macro manager? So it is asking me when I click on create a model and model name, I want to delete the duplicates. Okay, I want to delete the duplicates, and I'm a Python user. I'm a Python user. So I'm trying to delete. I'm trying to delete the duplicate overlapped elements in the model. Okay. If you have any special category, let's say I can specify that this script only works for electrical equipment. Electrical equipment only. Okay. So in the model. So let's say click OK. Now it will open a different application which you haven't seen so far. That is called Sharp Develop. That's called Sharp Develop, and I can write my code here. and it is very hard to understand, what is this? I know what is import CLR, what is import system, what is derivative deal, and you don't understand anything. And do you really think you have to write this entire code to delete the overlapped elements? Huh? No, right? So that is the reason this is not that popular. Okay. So we have another application which is called visual programming. It's called Dynamo, visual programming language, and which I will call it a. Okay, let me drag this into the original pieces. Visual programming, and this is grayed out. The reason I already opened it. Okay. So the next one that's a Dynamo player, you will come to know in after some time. Okay. So this is my Dynamo interface. This is my Dynamo interface, and it's my welcome screen. When I click on new, it will give you, just give me a second, view, background will be show grid. Okay. So this is my Dynamo workspace. Okay. So here, let me explain you something. What is a variables? It is a very, very important concept. If I split this into the two parts, I'm sorry. If I split this into the two parts, we have a two different stuff here. The left hand side and the right hand side. Left side and the right side. So left side we generally called as a variable. It means, for example, A is a variable. A is a variable and I want to store 10 in it. Okay. So B is a variable and I want to store 20 in it. So C is a variable, I want to store 30 in it. And D is a variable, I want to store my company name like Bimera. I'm storing some sort of a data. I'm keeping my data into a different variables. So at the same time, view scale. So view scale, there is a parameter. View scale, there is a parameter equal to 1:100. 1:100. So this is the case. What do you mean by variables? So view scale is a and display model. Display model. Okay, equal to what is it? Normal. Okay. And what is the other thing? Let's try with something crop view. Let's say for not exactly view name. View name equal to something main electrical distribution. Is it clear now? So do you understand what are the variables here? So variable, which means store some information, and that information can be changed, can be controlled. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes. Yes.
Is
Yes.
it clear, everyone?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is it clear, everyone?
Muted.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Is it clear, everyone? Huh? Okay. So the left hand side, this is called a variable name, and this is the value of it. This is the variable name, and this is the value of it. So this is the variable name, and this is the value of it. So name, value, name, value, name, value, name, value, name, value. So all the left hand side are called names, and right hand side they're called as a values. Okay, name and the values. So value, I mean, for example, if I want to change the value here, I can change to 200 here. I can change the value to the 200. Here, can I change that to 200 here? No, I'm trying to type that here, but I don't have an access to type 2. Is it? Yeah, it's taking now. Or else I have an access to change using a drop down. I'm having an access to change to the drop down. Okay. So for example, let me change this to the normal. I want to type Bimera. No, it is not accepting Bimera. It means this is a predefined. These are called predefined values. You cannot assign a new value to it. You cannot assign a new value to it. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Let me explain more detail. So here, I have a 1:10, I have 1:20, I have a 1:50, but I don't have 1:30. That we don't have 1:30. Can I set the value to 1:30 here? No, it's not accepting. It's not accepting. It can be done. Even you know it. Correct. Can be done, but it is not accepting now. It is not accepting now. Why? You have to change this future to the custom, and then you can enter the value 32 it. It means the same
There is disturbance
value
in your voice.
which is linked with some other parameter. Bharat, this is what exactly the same thing, similar to
Mute
your
everyone,
question.
please.
Okay, let me explain. I'll explain that later. So
Uh,
I have this. This is a value, and let me set to the 1:20, and 1:50, or 1:100. I don't have a 1:150 here. I don't have a. Is that? Is there a noise coming from anyone? Let me mute. I think, is my voice clear? Or are you getting any echo or something?
Voice is clear to your voice is clear to
Is
us.
it? Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. So let me know because I have to mute everyone. And one more, guys, until unless if you don't have any like a questions to ask, don't leave your mic as a now unmute state. Okay, clear? Fine. So these are the variables. The variable name and the variable value. Variable name, variable value. Okay, in this we have two different set of variables again. So one is user defined, one is user defined, and user defined, and second one is predefined. You will be coming to know what is a predefined and user defined tomorrow, not today. Okay, so user defined in the sense you have to enter the data. You are the user here. You are the user, and it is asking your attention. So what do you exactly connect to it? What are you going to exactly define to it? So that is going to be the user defined. And the predefined in the sense, you don't need to connect anything else. You don't need to connect. You just sit and watch like what I'm going to do, what the node is going to do. It doesn't have any inputs, even though it has some sort of an input, so you don't need to do anything if you don't know like what to connect exactly. That is how it is. Okay. So the user defined in the sense until unless you define something, it will not execute. It will not run the script at all. Okay. So the predefined in the sense it has already assigned by a value inside the script. I'll explain this later. Okay. Fine. Just give me a minute. Okay, fine. So user defined and a predefined. Let's get into this. Just keep this as it for the time being. So sun, like view name, this is the one. Let me select one more element and see. Let me select this element and schedule level. Schedule level is a variable name. Let me type to make you understand. Schedule level equal to level 3. Schedule equal to the level 3, and elevation from level equal to 1849.6 something. You don't ask me why there is a semicolon. I mean, I type here, even though if there is no semicolon, it is end of the statement. See how we are using enter button? No, I mean, after writing like a paragraph or a line, so we'll just hit enter to continue to the second line. If I want to continue something in the second line, I have to use the semicolon. It's like an enter key. Enter key. To end that particular entire line, to end this entire particular line, and if I want to enter into the next line, okay, so this is okay. If I want to enter into the next line, then it's a semicolon. Okay, clear. So these all are like a variable names, and these are the variable values. So one common thing in variable name is always a one type. What is the type? What is the type? For example, let me explain. So when it comes to the data, when it comes to the data, so I'm having a lot of data when I'm, when I'm playing with an element, I want to control an element completely. So I want to change a family name. A family name is in a text format. I want to change the elevation of the element. The elevation is in a number format. Okay, I want to turn on and turn off that element whenever it is required. I want to turn on or turn off. So that is controlled by on and off, on and off. No, I want to delete that completely element. So there are set of an additional actions to delete it or to move it from one place, from one room to another room. So there are some sort of, everything will be controlled by the data. Everything will be controlled by the data. Okay, so that data has a different phases. The data has a different phases. Let me explain. Explain. So there is a common thing, it's called data. The data has a different formats, will be called as a formats. Okay, we called as a formats, or we called as a phases, or we called it as a types. Mostly we'll call it as a data types. The data type. So what kind of a type it is? What is a format? We generally call it as an array. It is in a number format, or if it is a text format, or if it is in a checkbox format. So we'll call it as. I mean, if you are from the programming background, you'll come to know what are the formats we generally have. But you are a developer and you are playing with a different set of a application called Revit. Okay, so you will be calling this as a types for the time being. Okay, so the types exactly. So the number, okay, text and checkbox. On and off or whatever it is. And there is one more. It is called null. Okay, and the final it is called element ID. So we have only 5 different type of types we have here. So what are these in this? Guys, do you want me to repeat it again? Do you want me to repeat it again? Do you want me to repeat it again? See, every data which is there in every element, there is thousands of data in this element. Array, how can you say there is a thousands of element? I can see only 20 parameters or 20 or 30 parameters outside, and here we have a 20 or 30 parameters. But why you are saying like 1,000? Why you are saying it's like 1,000? I mean, if I'm having only like that 20 and 30, maximum 50 parameters, so 50 different values, then why are you saying like thousands of data? The properties palette, what you are looking into it, it doesn't have a proper, it doesn't have a proper information at all. It is not even 5% of the actual data. There is a data hidden, okay, in a place where you can't see until unless you have a third eye. Until unless you have a third eye. To get the third eye, you have to do yoga. Understand? You have to do the meditation. You ready to do it? Or else you have to install an application. If you don't have a time to do yoga or meditation, install an application called Revit Lookup. Revit Lookup. Oh, Ahmed, you are ready, huh? Let's sit tomorrow 8 to 8:30 for meditation then. Okay. So there is a tool called Revit Lookup tool. Okay. So this will help you to show the hidden data inside the elements. Whatever element it is, it is a floor, or see when I click on Snoop current selection, this is the properties palette. This is the properties palette for the developers, not for you. Not for you. Until unless you've done this training, you are not a developer, and this is not at all required for you. Okay. I want to see the data actually. I want to see the data. Most of the people are doing, this a very old example, but everyone knows it. That is the reason I'm using this. Can I see the element ID of this element in the properties palette? Can I? Can I?
No.
No, right? Okay. Maybe no. What? Maybe you can't. Okay, fine. So when I click on this Rivet Lookup tool, okay, and click on Snoop current selection, so I'm playing with an elements. I'm playing with an element. Okay, here if you notice it, if you notice this, there is a blue color border, there is a blue color background. Down to it, there is a gray color background, and the white color background, there is a text in it. So the main is a uh, like a object. So object is going to always would be in a blue color. I'll explain you all this later. So element dot id, element dot id, element dot pinned. So what is this dot and other stuff? Let me show you in the Dynamo. Show in the Dynamo. If I use Python script, if I use Python script, if I use a Python script, so element, there is an element, put a dot and ID. Okay, and click on save changes. So when I select model element, I want to select a model element. So when I click on this, and I have an element, I want to get the ID of this. C746575. Who is that? Okay, fine. Let me minimize this. Let me select this again. Let me do the same process again. Click on this, go to Snoop current selection, not element.id, yes, it's most everyone. So name, element dot name. Okay, so element dot name. Let me go and type exactly. It is a name, no? Type any name. Oh, it is showing me the element name. So whatever I have the information here, I have the information here. For example, if I want to get the parameters, I'll get the parameters. If I want to get whether the element is pinned or not, so I will check exactly whether the element is pinned or not. Let me check whether it is pinned or not. Let's say changes. It's saying it's a false. So it is written as a false. It is not pinned. If I pin this element here, and if I go back and check, it is saying true now. It is saying true now because it is a pinned element. The same element which is pinned, if I unpin here, it is false. When I pin that here, it is saying true. So which is changing in the properties palette. When I in this BIM developers properties palette, and now it is saying it's a true. So which is exactly reflecting as like a true. Okay, for example, if I want to get the location information, where is it? So these are the X, Y, Z values. These are the X and Y and Z value. If you notice it clearly, there is a comma separated, comma, comma. Okay, so X value, Y value, and the Z value. So you are going to do, I'm going to give you a task today to assign this value into a different parameters. You are going to create two different parameters. So, you are going to create 2 or 3 different parameters, and this information supposed to be like assigned to the elements. Okay, fine. So I don't want Python, man. Why you told me like you're not going to teach a Python. Then why you're showing me examples in Python? No, this is very hard to understand. Sometimes what happened, whatever the text that you have seen here, Snoop current selection, when I'm asking, Rajesh told like put a dot and next to the dot type document, next to the dot type geometry, next to the dot type group ID, next to the dot type owner view ID. It'll give you every information. No, that won't work in all the cases. There are different strategies. Okay, So in that case, I mean, if you are not aware of like what to write exactly in the coding, we have a ready-made nodes. We have a ready-made scripts. We have a ready-made scripts to use it directly. Okay. So those scripts, anyways, I'm going to share you in day 3. Okay. It's called, there are around like, 1,90,000 scripts are ready to use. Is it? It is ready to use. So I'm going to share you few of those. Not everyone, not everyone. I mean, you can't download all the, you can't download everything from a place. There is a place, so which is having like 2 GB data. So you can't. You can't be so greedy and download entire data. If you being greedy, your Revit will be corrupted. You can't play with the Dynamo at all. Why? Because there are some sort of a bugs in it. If you have downloaded any script which contains a bugs in it, kalas, you have to reinstall the Revit. Understand? Don't do that. I'm gonna share you some additional information and wait for my instructions. So far, don't do anything. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So these are the variables and these are the, variable names and these are the variable values. Okay, fine. What is the use of why you are explaining me what is variables and everything? The entire data is going to be, from the day 1 till the day end of our training, and again the level 2 training and the level end training, you will be playing with only one common concept is called the data types. The data types is very, 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 very important. If you ask me how many varies, infinity. It's a very, 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 very important concept. Okay. So until unless it's not that tough even, you'll be easily catch it. Let me explain. Okay. So this variables concept will help you a lot to understand the data. And we have a two different kind of a things. It's called data and the data structure. Data structure. So there is no difference between the data and the data structure. There is no difference in the data and the data structure. If you have a bunch of, bunch of data, all are like numbers. So that is a data. If you are getting, the numbers in it, the text in it, they have a element IDs in it, they have element families information there in it, then it's a combination of different sources, different types. We call it as a data structure. We call it as a data structure. Okay. So that data structure contains all this. Control it. So here you have only numbers. We have only numbers. Delete. If you have only numbers, only numbers. Please mute. Who is that? Mr. Who is this MM?
Hello.
Manas,
Yes.
please mute your mic.
Yes, actually.
Please. It's a very humble request, guys. The others will be disturbed here. Okay. Please mute. Okay. Thank you. And if you have any question, please text in the chat box. Okay. Clear? Okay, fine. So, oh, I have some questions here. Can you show where this node object in toolbar? You have to install Vijay. I'll show you this later. Okay, it's not in the day 1. It'll take some time to you to explain. Variable is something that stores some kind of data, or we can say some values. Ah, yeah, correct, Shubha. True. Abhishek Priyan, it is some kind of unknown factor or values which can be derived. Okay. Sometimes, it's a value which can be, okay, fine. That's it. So the data and the data structure, it's a purely like a data structure. So in that data structure, I have a different sort of a numbers, different text, different checkbox. Different values are coming from different places. So, you know, you have to understand in that data structure how many data types are there. How many data types are there? Okay. So the first type is, as I shown you on the PDF. So the first one is called integer. The first one is called integer, and the second one is called double. Both are same actually. Integer and double both are same. These are numbers only. These are numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 1, 6, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 1, 2.34, 34.6, 56, 91605 dot 67890. These all six values are numbers only, but we don't call those as a numbers and stop calling them as a numbers from today onwards. Okay, so you have to call them in two different names. Clear? So make it as a habit. Make it as an habit saying that if there is no decimal value, integer. If there is a decimal value, double. Is it clear? Is it clear, everyone? If there is no decimal
Yes.
value, there is no decimal value, it is called integer. If you have a decimal value, it is called double. Okay, what is the decimal here? What is the decimal here? What is a decimal here?
Double.
Guys, I'm asking
Double.
you, what is a decimal? It means dot. The dot. Okay, this dot is called a decimal. It's called the dot is called as a decimal. So if you have seen any decimal, that will be called as a double data type. Double data type. If it is not, then it is an integer data type. Okay. So shall we look into this directly in Revit? Okay. So now everybody unmute your mics. Unmute your mics, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone unmute your
Everyone.
mics.
Mute your mics.
Unmute your mics.
Unmute
Okay.
your mics.
Now let's start.
Let's
So
start.
what is the data type of
So,
this?
what is the
Value? What is the data type of this?
data type of this?
Double. Double.
Double. Double. Double.
Only white.
What
Only
is the
white.
sound?
What is
The sound echoing. Oh my goodness.
sound?
Let me mute everyone. I think there is a. Hold on a second. It's not happening with everyone actually. It can be done. I know where it is coming from. From few users. I I heard in the beginning, I heard a voice echo from a person. I don't remember his name. Okay, use chat box in that case. Okay, only for today, use chat box. So what is the data type of this? Everyone active on chat box, please. Chat box, chat box, chat box, chat box. Again, repeating chat box. What is the data type of this? Elevation from level, value, value. Hmm? Double, huh? Okay, very good. So what about the offset from host? Offset from host. Double, double, double. Everyone, please. Good. So what about mark? Integer. Oh my goodness. Good. Okay, that's really great. So what about maximum number of single pole breaker? Integer again. Hmm. Hmm. What about mains? What about mains? Mains. double text. Oh, Shava said text. Okay, interesting. Double. Bharat said string. Some others also saying string. Okay, good. Double. My vote for double, not for string. Okay. Well, so okay. So let me check with some other element, not from electrical background. Let's go into the coordination. Let me select this floor. And what is this data type of this elevation at top? Elevation at top. Integer. Rahul, is it integer? Okay. Mhm. Can you explain why you said it is an integer? Why it is an integer? Okay, fine. Anyway, because no value after decimal. Ooh, nice logic. Okay, fine. Good. Fine. Well, let me explain. So, I mean, everyone clear here with integer and integer and double. Everyone clear here? Say yes or no. If any no, I have to explain again. Yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. So there are no no's. Very good. Okay, fine. So we have two different like data types as I've explained here. It is called one is an integer and second one is a double. Let's see, how to play with the integers now. Okay. What is answer for above? That is double here. It is not a string. I'll explain you why. Okay. I'll explain you why. Don't worry. I'll explain. So it is an integer because uh, please tell me again. Oh, is it? Okay, fine. See, it's very easy. If you have seen any data, I mean, here, 4512.6, it is has a decimal value. If it is a decimal, it is a double. It is a double. Okay. If there is no decimal value, it is a integer. Okay, Manas. So in that case, you can't consider if there is a dot, if there is a decimal, it can't be a double also. Sometimes it may show you it as an integer. Sometimes the value which is having with the decimals will show you as a integer also. Okay, I'll show you. I'll explain you. I don't want to confuse you. First, try to digest everything from from the scratch. Okay, it will take. I'm gonna or feed you. Don't worry. Okay, so for now, yeah, 0.0. I'll explain you. I'm gonna show you how to understand how to know what is the actual data type as well. Okay, so integer and the double. So you're clear with this. Let's go and play with these two data types now. So in the same PDF I have given you, there are two different set of nodes. Why I mentioned here? Because you're going to play with the two set of nodes for the next 2 to 3 days. For the next 2 3 days, you are going to play with these two set of nodes, and I don't want you use any other nodes. Type exactly the same thing which is given in this box. Okay, so element dot get parameter value by name. Element dot get parameter value by name. So there is a you should not be blind while you calling some nodes exactly. Okay, so you have to apply some you know this thing. Okay, so what it is exactly, I have an element. The first one always saying you what you have with you. I have an element. I want to get the parameter value. I want to get the parameter value. But how? By I'm going to give you the name. Please get that element parameter value by connecting a parameter name. Simple. Is it clear? Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Good. Okay, fine. See, I have an element here. First thing, I have an element here. So I have an element and I want to get the parameter value. I want to get the parameter value. So by connecting the name of it. Okay. So what is it exactly? So it is expecting two inputs here. So I have to connect that element first, as well as to get the parameter value for which parameter it is asking. For the mark parameter or for the elevation from level parameter, I want to get the value. So this is what it is asking. It has two different inputs. The first input is expecting an element, and the second input which is expecting a parameter name. Simple. It's a parameter name and the element. So how to connect it exactly? That is a logic again. So I written here helps you to get or extract the existing information from elements. And if it doesn't have that information, it will fetch null. Simple. Okay. If it has any information in it, then it will fetch it. Otherwise, it will be empty. Okay. So here there is a one more node called set parameter. It's called set parameter. Set parameter. Set parameter in the sense, again, I have an element on the left hand side. I have an element on the left hand side. It is asking, it is saying that what is with you right now. So I'm having an element here. Okay, I'll explain you. There are three different concepts again here, like a create, action, and query. I'm going to explain you. Just give me a second. I have to do this. Okay. So three different strategies here we have. Element, what is with you right now, and what do you want to do? What do you want to do exactly? So I have an element and I want to get the parameter value. I have an element and I want to set the parameter value by its name. Simple. Okay. So why they haven't named properly? It is their own concern. It is their own concern. It is not, you can't blame me, or you can't ask me why it is like that, because I'm not the owner of that particular node. Someone has created it and I'm using it. Simple. Okay. So element dot set parameter by name. Okay. And it will help you to set the some additional information. So let me go and do it. Okay. The first node on your workspace is going to be always select model element. Select model element. First thing, because you're going to play with the model elements. Initially, you'll be playing with one element or one element or maximum two, three elements or something. So if you wish to play with like 1,000 elements at the same time and you want to filter only 10 elements out of it, it'll take some time. Okay. But you will be able to do it. Trust me. Okay. So select model element. So now the button is active state. The button is active state. So when I select some element here, okay, so when I'm trying to do any sort of an actions, sometimes what happen, the select will not be, I mean, you don't have an access to play with this option at all. Noise issue again. Who's that fellow? Is it from my end? Let me mute you. Okay, so when I click on select model element, when I click on this, now this is it's selected. The element got selected. Okay. So here I'm having an element. So this is an element and I want to play with this. I don't know what to play exactly. Okay. So I've shown you one node here. Where is that? Sorry, this is not the one. Element dot get parameter value by name. So when I type exactly in this node library, when I type element, put a dot next to it. When I'm putting a dot next to it, it will give you all the actions that you can perform with the dot. I'm sorry, that element. After the dot, I mean, once you put a dot, it has started looking, alright, this guy having element with him. So we have to show him sort of an actions to perform with his element. For example, if I type string, when I put a dot next to it, it will give you all the list of items, which these are called functions. So with you can use these functions to play with the string. Point dot. You can use these functions to play with the point. Do you understand now? List dot. So you can use all these functions to play with that list. Is it clear, everyone, now? Guys, is this clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
I hope it should be very, very clear. Dot in the sense, I'll explain it. There is a very, very detailed explanation why we're using dot. Okay? It will take 1.5 hours to finish that concept. And very, 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 very interesting. Okay? So it means in one single word, let's say if I have a, list dot something unique items. Okay. The first one would be called as a subject, guys. Sorry, object, guys. Object. So generally we play with objects. So how you play, that matters. It's called subject. So the first one is called a object. So obviously what you're playing, what you're going to play with. So I'm going to play with a point. So point is my object. So I'm going to play with a person. So person is my object. So I want to play with my kid. So kid is my object. You understand? I want to play with my toy. So toy is my object. Correct. So the object. And how do you wish to play with? You want to throw it out, or you want to weigh or something? What you want to do exactly? It is called a subject. So that subject has a name. It's called verb. Playing, okay, throwing, or peeling, or whatever it is, or reaping it. So whatever it is, okay. So that is going to be called as a subject here. Is it clear, everyone, now? Is it clear? Okay. So here, is it clear, everyone? Okay, good. So my object is element. My object is element. Okay. So how can you define your object here? Because it's clearly saying, man, when I cut any nodes into the two parts, this returns object. This returns object. This returns function. I'll explain you very detail later on. Okay. So I'll explain in detail later. I'm gonna prepare a PPT. Yeah, a PPT, I mean, not PPT, like a PDF for every concept what I'm going to explain. Okay, so don't worry about it. Everything would be very clear, and our recorded videos with you, so it could be more than enough. You don't need to go with any, this the additional stuff also. I mean, these PDFs also. Okay, that is for your understanding. Simple. Okay, so element. When I put a dot next to it, when I'm type get parameter value by name. Okay, get parameter value by name. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Okay, how many inputs it has? How many inputs it has?
One. One input.
No, no, no. For the select model element, I'm asking. For the select model element. For this select model element.
Oh, it has no inputs.
Everyone. I'm
One
asking
input.
everyone. I'm asking everyone. Hmm. One. Okay, one. Good. 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 Okay. Good. Very good. One. We have only one. And using this element, I mean, using this node, I can't play with more than one elements. Let's see how. When I click on select model element, so when I'm trying to select all these elements, no, it's not happening because there are two different set of selections. One is an object selection, and second one is window selection. So the window selection, which is not happening because this is one single, it will allow only one single element. Okay, let me hit escape. Now I can select only one. We have one more node called select model elements. And this node will not allow you to select single node. I mean single element. You cannot. So it requires a multiple selection. So in this case, I'll be using the drag it, the window selection. So just dragging it, and oh my goodness, I have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. But how come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? I have 14 objects. How come 14? How come 14? Yes, very good.
It includes
Select tags
tags
also.
also.
Correct, Rahul? Very good. So it selected the booleans, it selected the panels, of course, it selected the conduit also. It selected fittings also in the tags, all. Okay. But how do I filter only the panels? That we'll see in a filtering concept. Okay. Fine. For the time being, let me go with only one objects at a same time. This is for your reference. You can play whenever you want. Okay. So select model element. So it is asking an element now. So element and element both are matching. So both are matching exactly. You can't connect this to this. You cannot connect this to this because this is an element and this is a parameter name. Is it clear? So both should match exactly. Both should match exactly. I'll explain you what is the reason behind it with a detailed explanation, but not now. So when I connect this element to element and it is asking parameter name. Now, by heart it. There's nothing to by heart it. Just remember it. Okay. If it is asking, if any node which is asking a parameter name, no other second thought. Place string directly. Place a string directly. Okay. And type what is a parameter name I want to go with. So I selected this element and I want to get elevation from level. Elevation from level. So 1849.6. Elevation from level kada. So elevation from level. Elevation from level. Elevation from level. When I connect this to this, it's giving me 1849.6. So the right value. Okay. It's right value. Okay, fine. Let me set. Now, what is the storage type of this? What is the data type of this? Tell me, integer or double? Integer or double? Double, 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 double. Okay,
Double.
good. Fine, fine, good. Keep on the same words, like 1900 now. What is the data type? Disconnect, no problem. What is the data type now? Double, double. I remember someone said integer, yeah, Bharat. Okay, let me see. Rahul also in saying integer because it doesn't have any value next to that dot. Let me see. For example, okay, I'm gonna reveal one more important node, which is very, very important if you are a beginner. So there is a node which directs you, there is a, yeah, I'll explain Gizel. I'll explain that. Okay. So there is a node, it's your friendly node. It's your friend, consider, because if you are in a wrong direction, he'll show you the right way exactly. So who is the person who's showing the right direction will be always your friend. So there is a one more friend, object dot type. Object, it's supposed to be object dot data type. Okay. So I have an object and I want to know the type of it. I know an object. Okay. But I want to know what is the type of it, data type of it. Okay. So type in the sense data type. So when I connect this to this, hurry, it is saying double. Even though it is showing it's like a 1900, there is no decimal value, but still it is showing it's like a double. So nothing wrong, Rahul and Bharat. You tried good. That is also right answer. That is also right answer. When I'll show you. Okay. But these data types will not be, depend upon the value you assign to it. The value you assign to it. For example, okay, let me prove. Now Bharat and Rahul feel array, I answered a wrong, so I become full. Not exactly. Even you're also the right. I mean, even that is also right answer. Let me show you how. Okay. So there is a 12.34, 12.01. When I connect this to this, this is saying double. So 12.00, is it double? Again, is it clear? If I change this to 12 integer, if I change this to double zero, double. What if I change this to point 1, and when I change this to point 0, sometimes it will show it's a double, but why it is, sometimes it acts weird. Okay, that is also, it will be considered as a integer. I'll show you whenever it comes. Okay, sometimes it acts weird. So here, if I ignore this, when I connect this, this is going to be the integer. So it will tell you when I connect this, it is a double or it is an integer or whatever it is. Okay, so exactly what I want to check. The next one is offset from host. So I will type exactly instead of offset from host. It is a double. Okay. Let me try one more. Mark. Let's try. It's a mark. What is a mark data type? What is a mark data type? Integer, huh? Okay. What is it showing now? What is it showing? What is that showing? It is a string. How come it is a string? It is a number. It is clearly saying it's a number. It's clearly saying that it is a number. But why it is showing it's like a string? Okay. Let's see. Sometimes if Dynamo is acting very weird, let me show you whether it is really a string or a number. We'll see how it is defined. Okay. So there is a node called set parameter by name. Element dot set parameter by name. I don't want to use this for this time being. Okay. For the time being, I don't want to use this. So I want to set a value. So to the marked value, I want to set 45. Not it's a 44 number, it is a 45 because I added one more element. So the 44 becomes 45 now. Okay. So this expecting an element. So it has a three inputs. So 1, 2, 3 inputs are there. When I connect the element to the element and the parameter name, I always told you it is a parameter name. And what is the value exactly? So value, it is a integer. Correct. So let me, if it is an integer or a double, I'll be using one common node. It is called number. Even though it is a number or if it is something, whatever it is, we will call it as a, we'll call it as a what? We'll call it as a what? Guys, number node. Okay. I mean, when you place any node, it's called number. Let me show you, Shubham, how it is showing you now. Okay, so 12, when I connect this, when I type like 12 here, so when I connect this to this, it is saying it is an integer. So when I type dot 00, it's supposed to be double, but still it is showing it's like an integer. So when I add 01 here, it is showing me it's like a double. If that is double zero, that would be acting like a integer now. Okay, so it doesn't mean it's not redirect, it's not acting like a true friend. Okay, anyways, I think you got hurt, Shubham, with object.type node. Hmm? Fine, don't take it into heart. Okay, otherwise you have to be hurt every day. Okay, so number, so when I connect this, okay, this is a number, so let me type 45. Let me type 45. So when I connect this to this, what happened? What happened? What happened? Don't get scared. And it's not changed actually. If I want to change it manually, It's a 45. Okay, it changed 45, but I want to change this value to the 50 using Dynamo, and it's not happening. Now, the reason is when I hover the cursor on the warning, this is very important, huh? Very important place. If you understand this place, okay, the warning tip, okay, it's really trying to help you out. I mean, if you've seen any orange colored notes, you have to be very happy because you are going to learn a new thing. You like, I mean, start liking the negatives, whether, okay. So it's not a psychology concept. Okay, start liking the negatives. Okay, when it comes to the coding part. Okay, because you're going to learn something new. Okay, so here, sorry, where is it? Yeah. So when I hover the cursor on this, it's saying that the parameter storage type is not a number. Ah, is it? The parameter storage type is not a number. Arey, idiot, do you think I'm an idiot? It is clearly written 45, and I can manually enter that, like, the data to 50 also. Okay, I'm able to enter the value to the 50, like 60 or 100, whatever it is. If it is accepting my manual input, why not? Why it is not accepting the automation input? Well, I mean the Dynamo input. There is simple reason. Okay, so at the time of like manage, let's see, manage project parameters, add. I'm going to create a parameter here. It's called, let's say, integer. Okay, b integer. Let me say b integer, and that is going to be like a integer. Okay, and I check everything. Let's say click OK. Under, let's say under identity data. Let's say click OK. I want to create one more parameter again. So b underscore double. So that is, do we have any double here? No, we don't have any double here. We have an integer, that is fine. We don't have a double. So we have something called number. Okay. So that is hide in data, no? Yeah, hide in data. Check everything. Let's click OK. One more. So when I click on add, so b underscore string. This is b underscore, right? Yeah, b underscore string. So this time I do have any string here? No. Text here. So under identity data. Okay, check everything. Let's click OK. Let's click OK. Fine. It's fine now. So if I do it manually, when I select this under identity data, I can see integer. So integer 1234, it is accepting. If I type 12.34, it's giving a warning. Enter an integer. Okay, here the warning looks like in an orange color, but here it's not exactly the same. It is a dialog box. So if it is a dialog box, you'll be taking more care. Oh, it is asking an enter an integer, so you understand something and you change it accordingly. But here it is somehow hard to understand the warning. But when we are in the training, you will be able to understand every warning very clearly, and it's my promise. If you understand the warnings clearly, there is no one can stop you. You understand? Your flow will be going like that. The data, if the data is passing through one block to another block, you keep on going. So no one can stop you. You know how to handle the data. Simple. Okay. So the parameter storage is not a number. Okay, let's go with the double. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm entering an integer. Will it accept it? Tell me, guys. That is a double data type, but I'm entering a integer. Will it accept or not? Just tell me. Will that accept or not? Huh? Endlo 38 ఉన్నారా? Everybody is saying yes, yes, yes. And few people said no, no, no. Okay, fine. Let me see. See, it has accepted. 1, 2, 3, 4 dot. I mean, it has automatically added the dot. Okay. And 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 6 digits were added automatically. Okay, that's fine. So what if I don't want to, I don't want this, because can I remove this? No. Okay, it means the storage type of this is a double. The storage type is a double, and you can't remove the dots at any case. I mean, the decimal values or any case, the zeros or any other case. If you whether you use it or not doesn't matter. While you read the data, it will give you in a decimal format only. Okay, fine. Now try to understand. So this is a string. So if it is a string, what should I enter in it? What should I type in it? What should I type in it? Exactly. Name, alphabets. Okay, very good. Anything? Okay, very good, Bharat. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting more answers. Please go ahead. Alphabets. Okay. True or false? Alphabets. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Anything? Good, Miras. Good, Uni. General. Okay. Very good. Let me see them. Let me see them. Very good. Any nouns are? Is that? Okay. Fine. Okay. Let me see. Any string. Okay. If I type 1, 2, 3, 4, will it accept or not? If I type 1, 2, 3, 4, will it accept or not? It's supposed to accept or no. Why? Because no. No is the right answer here. Why? Because that is a string and we are entered a number. We entered a number. No supposed to be the answer, right? How many of you agree with me? My answer is no. My answer is no. Voice is not clear. Listen, voice is not clear. Is my voice clear now? Is my voice clear now? Uh-huh. Oh, because of my fan, it seems. My PC fan. Okay. I agree. Oh, Nimish is agreeing with me. I'm so happy. So it will accept. Oh, Rahul is not accepting with me. I hate you. Honey Krishnan, you agree with me? Okay, fine. Let's see. So when I enter 1, 2, 3, 4, it is accepting. It's accepting. Okay. So the people who followed me, you are on a wrong track. Okay, fine. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. If I use zero, I mean decimal values, I mean 0, 5, 6 something, still it is accepting. It looks like a double, but it is not a double. Do you understand? It looks like a double, but it is not a double. It looks like an integer. And my goodness. So enter. It looks like an integer, but that is not an integer. So it looks like, like a true or false, but it is not a true or false. But there is another data type we have. I'll explain you. Okay. So just give me a minute. Just give me a second. Ripu, so sorry. Thank you. Okay. So it's all a game of storage type of the particular data. Very clearly explained. Yep. It's a game, man. Okay. It's a God's game. That person who designed this application, it's his game. Okay. So B string. Okay. So it's a string. It accepts everything, not even a number. Okay. Not even my name. Let's say whose name is Shubham. Let's say Shubham and 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, special characters. It will accept everything. But a number, or I mean, an integer will not even allow the decimal values. When I type 1, 2, 3, 4, enter a value, something which is equal to the integer format. Okay. So it will not allow me ABCD. Same thing. So in Revit, how it acts exactly, even when it comes to the, when you're reading the same data, right? You're reading the same data, but in a different interface. So it will exactly act like the same in a Dynamo also. Now, so how do I come to understand? Tomorrow, it's a very, very important session because I'm going to show you the real phases of the original data. Today, I'm going to explain you the data types, but tomorrow, I'm going to show you how you will be noticed, like, you must need a practice. So you must have a practice at least for time being, not on all the elements. If you're an MEP person, especially if you're an electrical, choose a cable tray and select all the, select each and every parameter. Use this get parameter value by name and schedule level, type it, the elevation from level, type it, offset from host, type it, and understand what is the storage type of it. If you're good in memory, that's fine. Otherwise, it'll take two times. Just type it again because you have a 50 parameters mostly for one element. So out of the 50, if you retype it again and again and again and again, maximum it will take 10 minutes or 15 minutes maximum, not more than that. Why can't you spend like 15 minutes after the training? If you want me to leave like 15 minutes before, I can leave you. Sorry, I can't leave you. I don't leave you. Okay. So you have to practice after the 2 hours only. Clear, everyone? So after the 2 hours only, it will be your time. If you ask me, Rajesh, I want to do a practice, so leave me 30 minutes before. No, I don't have any mercy at all. Until unless the concept, even though the concept got finished like in 45 minutes, I'll not leave you. The rest of the 45 minutes I'll be used to explain with more examples. You understand? Even though you understand the concept, even though you understand the concept, because I know most of you guys are, all are like 99 people are, 1% you are working professionals. You don't have a time to practice. So I'll be like taking that 45 minutes as granted, and I'm gonna explain you more examples. So if you don't practice it, even if you understand the concept, that would be happy for me. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So let's try to do the same thing here. So select model element. I connected an element here. So parameter name, I told you if any input which is expecting a parameter name, type string directly. Okay, the value here is a challenge. Here is a challenge. Okay, so how do you come to know that? How do you exactly come to know which is the actual storage type of this particular parameter? Okay, so for the time being, I'll give you a simple formula. Okay, I'll give you a simple formula. Mm, element dot parameters dot name. Don't ask me what. Okay, just this is only for your practice. Okay, so you're going to do all this stuff. Element dot parameters. I'll explain you very simplest form than this lengthy code. Okay, don't get panic. Storage type not return simple. So yep, I have to clear this everything. No, ds core dot rayon and use this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, that is string here. So still it is in yellow color because elements dot control C. Perfect. Oh, is it now it is good disconnected? Let me remove this. Okay, let it be. Okay, so this is string. So use this. For example, if you want to play with any, parameter between the quotation marks, between this double quotations, type your parameter name exactly. For example, I've selected this element. I selected one element here, and I want to get elevation from level. Type exactly elevation from level. In between this, elevation from level. Elevation from level. What is it saying? A double. It's saying it's a double. It's getting twice. The reason why I'll explain you tomorrow. So these are double actually. You have only one here, but why addition two? You'll be doing that later. I'll explain you tomorrow in detail. Okay. So elevation from level. Okay. So if I want to get panel name, what would be the panel name parameter data type? Can anyone tell me what is the panel name data type?
It's an string.
String. Why? We have a number also, right? We have a number also, right? But still you say
But
it's a
the
string. Okay. Let me try. Why?
string.
Panel name. PNL enable panel name. Oh, it's a string. Very clear. So now you have to apply some common sense here. If it is saying a string, you have to place a string. You have to place a string here. Okay. If it is saying something like, B integer, I would like to know something for B underscore integer. Oh, that is an integer because while I created the parameter, I choose the integer data type. I choose it is an integer data type. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Huh? Clear, no? So that is an integer data type. Sometimes what we do, we'll do some sort of mistakes like manage project parameters. I'll create a parameter underscore like let's say Shubham. Shubham SUHUB underscore double. Okay, double. And I use integer here. I'll check everything in ident data. Let's click OK. Let's click OK. So I am having like one additional parameter saying SHUB underscore double. But when I'm adding 1234.56, it is not accepting. Why? Because the name which in the interface on the front end, it is saying it's a double, but backside, in the back end, which is a integer data type. I hope you understand now. So you will not completely rely on the name of the parameter. I hope you clear what I'm trying to explain. Is that clear with everyone? Guys, is that clear with everyone? Clear? No? Very good. Very good. So don't rely on those parameter names. Looking into the parameters name, whatever. So if it is an integer, it can't be an integer. It could be something else. The mark, where there's a mark here? Where's the mark here? Somewhere on the top. Yeah, it's a mark. So mark, we have a data which is 100, and we feel okay, mark is a integer data type. Not exactly. Tomorrow I'm going to confuse a lot. Seriously, you're going to confuse a lot, and you're coming to a picture clarity. All your clouds will be gone in tomorrow's session. So today's, I don't want you to overfeed because there is a reason behind it. I don't want to because we have a few people join for the demo also. So everything can't be explained to them directly. Okay. So please grant like just wait for one more day. So like once the participants confirmed, once the students confirmed, then well, there are no boundaries. We are going to explore everything. Okay, so if you, I mean, whether you want a session or you don't want a session, so every, I mean, like the complete session is going to be a Q&A, or you keep on asking me questions. So you keep on asking me Python examples, everything. It's, I'm under your control. Okay, but stop. I mean, don't stop me for today because I can't explain you everything today due to some reasons. Okay, fine. So mark. Okay, so you have to understand. So when I'm typing mark here, okay, if it is showing it's like a integer or double, then you have to use number. If it is showing the storage type as a string, then you have to use this. Is it clear now? The value is keep on changing. You know, for example, when I hover the cursor on this, that is saying var. Let me take a screenshot. Okay, so here this is showing it's like a var. var in the sense not a variable. varies, varies. It means the value you're going to be connected, it keep on varies, depends upon the parameter name. Is that clear now? So var in the sense it varies. When I hover the cursor on this, it is clearly saying that to write any parameter name, you have to use a string. You have to use a string only here. If you notice this, it is, array, where is that screenshot, man? Yeah, that is clearly saying a string. So I'll be using string node directly, blindly. And when I hover the cursor on this, this is saying it is repeat.elements.element. It means it is clearly saying that you have to connect the element. Why? How do you say that it is expecting an element? Control Z. There are two dots actually here. Rivet dot give a break. Elements dot give a break. I don't want this bullshit. I don't want this shit at all completely. So the last one, okay, the last one is my key object. So the object is called element here. So it means, okay, I have to connect an element here. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? So if it is an element, so I connected element. It said it's string, I connected a string. It is saying it's a VR. Oh, bah. If it says VR, now you have to apply your common sense. So whether what kind of a data type, what kind of a parameter is, what is the storage type of it. So you don't need to write this entire code all the time to get a storage type. There is a very easiest method. I'll show you tomorrow. Okay. So integer. So now the mark is saying it's a string. No. Where is that? Mark integer. So integer, no, if it is a number, if it is be underscore integer, let me set the value 1 2 3 4, right? So I want to set 2 2 3 2 3 4 5. Now it said be integer 2 3 4 5 3 4 5 6 3 4 5 6. So 3 4 5 6.28. No, still it is saying like 3 4 5 6 only. Okay, let me change this value to 5 6. Still it remains same. I change this to 75. Still remains same. I'll change this value to 99. Still it remains same. Okay. So it's not taking the decimal values at all. Okay. Let me try with double here. Let me try with double here. B double value. Why B double? It's not working. B underscore double. Um, it is a number 3456.7. Strange. Let me type Bigmera. Connect this to this. It's set. Now, if I have the string exactly, and this supposed to work double. Okay. So when I connect the parameter name to this and connect the value to this, it's supposed to work. But still, this parameter name, it's a unit type of saying it's wrong. Hmm. That is a number. Do you have anything, something related to something? No, it's a number very clearly. Identity data. Let's click OK. And let's click OK. Still, which is giving you the same. But why unit is not okay? Let me try with some other. Why it is not working with this? For clip offset. For clip offset. No parameter found by that name. Okay, this is, I'm so sorry, that's a view. Let me check with offset from host. It said 3456.7, but why it is not working with the parameter? Let me see. What's the reason behind it. Okay. So, I mean, sometimes it happens exactly. Okay. So, this is for today. Do you have any questions in today's concept? Do you have any questions in today's concept? Let me know. Do you have any questions in today's concept? It's 10:15. So can we write that in code block and try once? Yes, that can be also done, but still this is something which is saying it's, be double, not that's because of this. Let me connect this to this. Still it's giving the same. It's a problem with the parameter I created here, right? Something went wrong over there. Okay. So I'll see that later. So any questions? Anyone? 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 Any other questions? The value as well. So, that is it. That is a number, man. Guys, I'm asking you. Don't you have any questions to ask? Okay, let me like check with manually. Abhishek Priyan, Aditya, Ahmed, Ankita, Bharat,
I'm clear with it.
Biju, Chandrakant, Devi, Deenadalian, Dhruv, Gazel, Jain. Kim is not a student. Uh, who is this? Okay. Who is this? Lenovo. What's her name? Lenovo. Who joined with the name of Lenovo? Who is this Lenovo? The user. May I know your name, please? Lenovo, Mr. Lenovo. You just type your name in the chat box. Manas, no questions. Himesh, Piyush, Samad, Santosh, Satyajit, no questions. Is that nothing to be asked to be discussed in tomorrow? Okay, fine, great. So I want to give you a task. Would you? Why we can't use dot notation concept everywhere? There is a different strategy. I'll explain you when it comes to the dot notation concept. Don't worry. So Unikrishnan, Venkat Shivareddy, Shiv, I think it's Shiv. Vijay, Vishnu, Rishabh. No questions? Okay, fine. So I'm going to give you a task today. Do one thing. So your task is, let me copy paste. Okay, use this note. Okay, you keep this aside. Use this note and use this note. So select any element from your discipline. Any element. If you're from electrical trays or lights or whatever. If you're from mechanical diffusers or ducts or whatever. If you're from architectural walls or whatever. Okay. So once you selected any element using select model element, don't play with the plural elements for now. Okay, select model element and connect the element to the element. Connect this element to the element. Okay, fine. The next thing is the parameter name. If it is a parameter name, string. If it is a parameter name, if it is a string, or else you, instead of using two different nodes, you can take a same connection from here and here also, both. Okay. So get what is the storage type of this. Get what is the storage type of this. If it is saying it is a string and number. Okay, remove these two. So if it is saying string, set the values. If it is a string, type bimera. If it is a number, type 100. Okay, if it's a number, type 100. So connect. If it is saying it's string, then you connect this and set it to the value. If you have seen any different warning, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and can I share you the document because we have some. I'll share you that. I'll share you that tomorrow. For the time being, what you have to do, open a Word. I mean your MS Office, MS Word, and paste the warnings. Any new warnings. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? If you have seen any different warning, then I need these warnings in a one document. Tomorrow, I'm going to share you a document link, not now. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to share you a document link. Copy all those images into that document and leave it. We'll discuss that every warning in a exactly in the training part. Clear? Clear, guys? See, if you start understanding the warnings, you will be more getting energy, learning energy. You understand? Okay. So let's start with the warnings. Clear? And in that case, if it has more warnings, don't explain. First, let's go slowly. Let's go slowly for the first 3 days. Then it's your time. Okay. Clear? For the first 3 days, as promised, I want you to write your own scripts from the scratch. Clear, guys? Was it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Good. So use this exactly, and I will be sharing you the script. Okay, I'll be share. I hope everybody. I need. Can you please answer here? I have sent you a payment reminder link. So who didn't fill that payment reminder link? So I mean, it will. I mean, in the form, it will ask. Let me show you that. Um, is it payment reminder? No. Yeah, this one. I hope who didn't fill this? Who didn't fill this? Please send recorded video again. I need to watch. Ahmed, you will not receive this video. I'm so sorry. You'll not get this video. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's part of a training. Okay, we just consider this workshop for you as a demo, so will not get this. Okay, Bharat. Okay, fine. Text me on WhatsApp who haven't filled this form because I will be taking the information, your full name to be printed on the certificate. Okay, and your country code and WhatsApp number. Fill the country code properly. Okay. So, I mean, if you're using like, I mean, if you're a combo user, then choose combo. Or if you are only for like a level one or whatever, choose the level one here and select the date, today's date simply, and enter your email ID to receive this, receive the videos. Okay. And if you're going with one payment or two installments, we have only two installments, not more than two. So whether you wish to go with a one payment or two installments. So if you choose like installments, so you know how much you paid as an initial, okay, and what's a pending fee, and when you're going to clear that pending fee and click on submit. That's it. Clear, guys? So once you've done this, you will be receiving the videos onto your account. I'll, you will be having the complete access. You'll get the complete access to uh, play with our portal. Clear, guys? So who haven't filled this, text me on WhatsApp to get the details completely. Okay. So this is for today. Tomorrow, it's a very, very, very important session then today, because today, there are no confusions, but tomorrow you will have a lot of confusions. Tomorrow there will be lot of confusions. And again, that's completely, I'm going to give you the conclusion as well. On the third day, you have some advanced stuff that we'll see. Okay. So let's meet tomorrow. Well, I'm expecting more questions. So note down your questions, come up with, and one more. So you have to send me a screenshot if it's giving you a different warning. So I want this. I don't want this exactly. I want this tooltip warning. Okay. And click on print screen on your button. I hope you are aware of this. Okay. Then take a screenshot like this. Take a screenshot with this exactly. I need the three. See, when you take a one, I mean, in future, I want this tooltip, I want this inputs and the output as well, all three. If output is not required generally, then I need at least the three inputs and this tooltip warning. Clear? Clear, everyone? Is that clear? So, that's for today. So those who fill the form, they will get the recorded videos in 2 to 3 hours. The people who haven't filled that form, they will not get it. Okay, they'll not get that until unless you fill the form, because it's auto connected. Okay, and do share your personal email IDs, not the official email IDs like your Santosh at atkins.com, Jane at wsp.com, Nimesh at pimera.com. Not exactly. Clear? Okay. So don't use any official emails. You go with only the personal email IDs which you're being using from so long. Okay. Text me on my WhatsApp numbers. I'll share you. Okay. Good night, everyone. Good night. Don't call me sir. You can call me Kumar. Simple. No formalities. No nothing. Okay. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.